Hi guys, this is Gail with Gail's Southern Living. Today I'm going to be making a candy recipe for Angela at the Inquisitive Farm Wives collaboration, and I'm going to be making a cherry mash. First I want to start with some maraschino cherries. This is a 10-ounce jar. I've already drained off the cherry juice. Now we may put a little of the cherry juice in later if it's too dry, but I have it over there because of course I'm going to make something with that. So I did accidentally buy the cherries with the stems, so I've already poured the stems off and put them here. And now I'm just going to chop these up. I wanted to do this first before I get my mixer out. These cherries smell so good. I wish you had smell-o-vision. This recipe sounded really delicious. I watched a couple of different recipes on it and decided on this specific one out of the ones I watched. And so it sounded really good. They said it was an old-fashioned recipe that they used to do. So I'm going to get these cherries chopped up and I'll be right back. The cherries chopped. This is where the mash comes into it. You're going to mash out the juice because you don't want too much juice in there, so I'm told. Alright, I'm just going to keep mashing on that and then I'll show you the next step. Alright, for the next step, in the video they did it with the bowl and they sifted the powdered sugar. I don't have a sifter. So I'm going to, so you're doing 4.5 cups. So I'm going to do 2 of the cups right now. There's 1, 2. So I'll still need 2.5 more cups. Put the powdered sugar away for now. What I'm going to do instead of sifting is I'm actually just going to try to mash out any possible clumps there is. This is a brand new package of powdered sugar. I'm making a mess. So it shouldn't be bad, but I'm just going to continue to do this. I'll be right back. All right. Next, I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of butter. I already have this butter at room temperature. And 3 tablespoons of sweetened condensed milk. You're not going to use it all, so you'll have to find something else to use it for. All right, there's 1. 2. I'm going to kind of leave it heaping because I'm not going to get all of this out of here. 3. All right. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. And it said half a teaspoon vanilla, half a teaspoon of almond extract. I did not have any almond extract, so I just did a teaspoon of vanilla. And I went ahead and added the rest of the powdered sugar in there. Because I'm doing it with a stand mixer, we're just going to see what happens with that. I mean, this KitchenAid does all the work for me, so let's see how this goes. All right, I'm going to add in the cherries. Get all of that out of there. Okay, and I'm going to put in a little food coloring just to give it a little more red. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. But I thought it'd be pretty if it was a little bit redder, a little bit pinker. So I'm just going to turn that back on and let that mix. I'm going to go ahead and add in some of the cherry juice. Okay, we'll just do, that's about 1.5 tablespoons, I think. All right, guys. this is ready. See, it's all sticking to the mixer there. It looks like a nice consistency. So I think that looks good. It looks beautiful, actually. So let me get ready for the next step. All right, for the next step, I'm going to let this sit in the freezer for 30 minutes. I'll be back. All right, so I got some cookie sheets, 2 small ones. I thought my other one would be too big, so I just bought these little cheapy ones at Dollar Tree, and I lined them with parchment paper. I went ahead and crumpled it up so it would lay out flatter, and then cut a little bit of the top off. So I have 2 sheets ready here. I had to buy a cookie scoop because I've never used a cookie scoop, believe it or not. So here I go with this. It's a good consistency. Okay, and I'm just gonna I have to kind of learn how to work the cookie scoop because I'm a newbie. Okay. Oh yeah, it's coming along now. Maybe a couple of stray pieces I'll have to add to something else, but I'll do that after. Now in the video, she used a double boiler for her chocolate. I'm just going to use a microwavable bowl. She also mixed almond bark, chocolate almond bark with Ghirardelli. I didn't realize that the recipe called for the Ghirardelli too. I'm just going to use this. So, because that's what I thought I was supposed to be getting. And then when I went to watch back the recipe today, I saw that she was saying she added Ghirardelli to it as well. I was like, oh no. I want to try to get as many on this one as I can. And I'm actually going to give some of this to hubby's coworkers. He has 2 coworkers that he works closely with. So I actually got some little throwaway containers with lids. I'm going to make one for him and his 2 coworkers. So there's exactly 3 at Dollar Tree. You can get these. So I'm going to do that. Those are ready to go. 30 minutes was definitely long enough for these. Definitely not a healthy recipe, but really good for a holiday. I think your family will love it. Well, now when I make cookies, I'll have a cookie scoop. Look at there. So I got 8. I think I got 11 on that one. And I think on the last one, I think I'm just going to get a plate and put some parchment paper on it if I don't get all this on here, and just use that. I don't think it'll make a huge difference, really, as long as it has the parchment paper so it doesn't stick. We'll see how many I come out with here. All right. Chocolate looks like it needs another 15 seconds. All right. So I'm going to mix some of the chopped walnuts in here. Mix that around. Okay. And then I'm going to get a fork and I'm going to grab one of these. How to dip it. And then I'm going to put it back on here. And I'm just going to continue that process. I'll come back and show you what it looks like at the end. So far, so good. Well, they're coming out pretty good. I did add a little chocolate. You can still see some pink. I did put one in the freezer to test it out. And it is delicious, guys. It puts chocolate-covered cherries to shame. But I'll show you a little bit more footage toward the end. But this is my first tray done. They're done. This is how they came out. There's still a little pink showing on some of them. I had one square of chocolate left and I didn't want to go anymore. So this is how they turned out. I'm going to bag up some of these for hubby's coworker. Thank you, Angela at the Inquisitive Farm Wife, for doing this awesome collaboration. I will link the playlist in the description box. Go by and check out all the candy and cookie recipes in there. I will also include her giveaway for the Bosch mixer, which is a separate thing from this collaboration. I'll link the video on how to do that. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope you'll try this recipe and I will include it in the description box of this video. Have a great day. Be blessed. Do something kind, guys. Bye, everybody.